Hey there, friends. It's Mike, and I'm really glad you're here with us today. If you're over 60, like many of our wonderful viewers, I want to ask you something. Have you ever found yourself thinking, am I doing everything I can to stay healthy? Maybe you're doing great with some things, eating a little better, getting out for walks now and then, but there's always that nagging feeling, could I be doing something that's actually putting me at risk and not even realize it? Well, the truth is a lot of folks in their 60s, 70s, even 80s are holding on to habits that seem harmless on the surface, but they're actually increasing the risk of some serious health problems. And these aren't rare, extreme habits either. These are common, everyday things that sneak up on us over time. That's why I wanted to bring on someone special today. She's kind, she's sharp, and she's been helping patients navigate aging and wellness for over 30 years. Dr. Sarah Mitchell is here with us. Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, Mike. And hello to all of you watching. Thank you for taking the time to care about your health. That really matters. And I always say, you're never too old and it's never too late to make positive changes.
I love that. So we're talking today about 4 habits that a lot of us have, some we may not even think twice about, that can actually put our lives at risk. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Absolutely. What I've seen time and time again is that it's not always the big events, the heart attack, the fall, the diagnosis, that are the real shock. It's how long those risks were quietly building up before they finally made themselves known. That's where habits come in. Our daily routines can quietly support our health, or slowly undermine it. And many people just aren't aware of how powerful those small choices are.
So true. And before we jump in, folks, if you find this helpful, please take a second to hit that subscribe button below. That way, you won't miss out on any of our conversations that are designed to keep you informed, inspired, and well. All right, Dr. Mitchell, let's dive into the first habit.
All right, let's talk about something incredibly common, sitting too much. And I know for many people watching, sitting seems like the most natural thing in the world. You wake up, have coffee at the table, maybe read the paper in your favorite chair. You sit to eat, to watch TV, maybe even nap. It feels restful, and after a lifetime of work, you've earned that rest. But here's the thing. Too much sitting, especially without movement in between, is not just about being sedentary. It's about what happens inside your body when movement slows to a crawl.
Yeah, we've all heard that phrase, sitting is the new smoking, right? But what does that really mean?
It means that prolonged sitting, especially if you're sitting for hours at a time, day after day, can cause a cascade of negative effects in your body. Your circulation slows down, your blood sugar regulation weakens, your muscles begin to shrink and stiffen. Even your brain can be affected, because when you're moving less oxygen and fewer nutrients are getting up there. And we're not talking about extreme inactivity. Even sitting for more than 6 hours a day can start to increase your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. And maybe most surprising of all, it's linked to a higher risk of early death, regardless of how old you are or how healthy you eat.
That's really eye-opening. But I bet a lot of folks are wondering, well, I have to sit. I can't be on my feet all day. What do you say to that?
Absolutely, and that's a great point. It's not about never sitting. It's about breaking it up. If you sit for 30 minutes, make a point to stand or walk around for 5. Stretch, do a little housework, walk to the mailbox. Even just marching in place for a minute or 2 makes a difference. You're telling your body, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm still here and I'm still active. And for anyone with mobility issues, it doesn't have to be complicated. Chair exercises, light resistance movements with bands, or even just practicing standing up and sitting down safely a few times in a row, it all helps. It keeps your joints moving, your heart pumping, and your body alert.
You're reminding me of my uncle. He's 72 now, and a few years ago he was having all sorts of back and hip issues. His doctor told him to start getting up every half hour, even just to walk to the kitchen and back. Within a few months, he felt stronger, slept better, and was in better shape overall. It didn't seem like much, but it changed everything.
That's exactly it. Those little moments of movement compound over time. They protect your muscles and bones, support your balance, and even improve your mood. Our bodies were designed to move, and when we honor that, they reward us.
So if you're watching and thinking, well, I sit a lot, but I'm just tired lately, maybe this is a good starting place, huh?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes that fatigue people feel isn't from aging, it's from inactivity. Once you start moving a little more, your energy often improves, and you start to feel more like yourself again. It's a beautiful thing to witness.
So powerful. Now, I mentioned that there were a few habits like this that people should really be aware of. What's another one that tends to fly under the radar?
The next one is something we don't always associate with health risk, but it's just as important: poor sleep habits. And I'm not just talking about insomnia or sleeping too little. I'm talking about the overall quality of sleep and how overlooked it is, especially as we age.
Oof, you're speaking my language. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, well, I'm old now, I'm not supposed to sleep well. But that's not really true, is it?
Not at all. That's a myth I wish we could retire for good. While sleep patterns do change with age, that doesn't mean poor sleep is something you just have to accept. Quality sleep is absolutely vital. It's when your body repairs, your brain stores memories, your immune system resets. If you're not sleeping well, everything else becomes harder: managing weight, blood pressure, focus, even emotional resilience. And the danger comes when poor sleep becomes chronic. Because when your body's not resting well, your risk of heart problems, stroke, depression, and cognitive decline, like memory issues or even dementia, goes up significantly.
So it's not just about feeling tired. It's about your whole body not getting the reset it needs.
Exactly. That's why one of the best things you can do for yourself is to treat your sleep like it's sacred. Wind down before bed, avoid screens late at night, keep your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. And if you find yourself waking up over and over or snoring heavily, talk to your doctor. Sometimes sleep apnea or other treatable conditions are quietly interfering with your rest.
And if you're someone who's been struggling with sleep for years, it's not too late to turn it around, is it?
Never too late. I've had patients in their 70s and even 80s who improved their sleep through small, consistent changes, and their energy, mood, and focus improved almost immediately. It's one of the most powerful changes you can make for your health.
Wow, that's already so much to think about. I'm guessing there are still a couple more habits we need to look out for?
Yes, there are. We've talked about movement and sleep, two of the big ones, but there's more to the picture.
Let's keep going.
Now, another habit that can quietly damage your health over time is something I see a lot in my older patients: not drinking enough water. It seems simple, right? Just drink when you're thirsty. But as we get older, our thirst signals actually become weaker. So by the time you feel thirsty, your body may already be a little dehydrated. And chronic dehydration doesn't just make you feel tired or give you dry skin. It affects your kidneys, your digestion, even your brain function. It's been linked to confusion, dizziness, and falls. And for older adults, a fall isn't just an inconvenience. It can be a life-altering event.
Yeah, I've heard that even mild dehydration can make someone feel foggy or unsteady on their feet. That's no joke.
Exactly. Your body relies on fluid for everything. It cushions your joints, keeps your blood moving, helps you digest food. And when there's not enough of it in your system, things start to slow down or break down. Now, here's where the problem comes in. A lot of older adults avoid drinking too much water because they're worried about frequent trips to the bathroom, especially at night. That's completely understandable. But it's about timing and balance, not giving up on hydration altogether.
So what's a good way for someone to stay hydrated without being up all night?
Try to drink more in the earlier part of the day. Keep a glass of water nearby when you're reading or watching TV. Have water with meals. And if plain water isn't appealing, herbal teas or water flavored with a slice of lemon or cucumber can help. You don't need to chug it. Just sip throughout the day. The goal is to stay ahead of that dehydration curve, not wait until your body is begging for moisture. Also, eating foods with high water content, like cucumbers, watermelon, soups, can contribute to your fluid intake. You're not limited to just plain water.
That's a great point. My mom started keeping a bottle of water next to her chair, and it's made a difference. She says she doesn't even realize how much she's drinking. It just becomes part of the day.
That's the goal. Turn it into a gentle habit. And once your body starts getting what it needs, you'll often notice fewer headaches, better digestion, and even improved energy.
It's amazing how something that seems so small, like a glass of water, can have such a big impact.
It really can. And that brings us to one of the most overlooked habits of all. And it's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. I'm talking about social isolation.
Phew, that one hits home, especially after these last few years. A lot of people are still feeling the effects of being so cut off during the pandemic.
Yes, and for many older adults, isolation was already creeping in before the pandemic began. Maybe friends have moved away, loved ones have passed, or mobility issues make it harder to get out. And what starts as a quiet season can turn into long-term loneliness. And that has serious health consequences. Research shows that chronic loneliness is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even earlier death. It's been compared to smoking 15 cigarettes a day in terms of the stress it places on the body.
That's incredible. I don't think people realize how powerful that kind of emotional weight can be physically.
Absolutely. The human brain is wired for connection. We need to feel seen, heard, and valued, not just occasionally, but consistently. When that's missing, it affects your immune system, increases inflammation in the body, and even disrupts your sleep patterns and memory. And the challenge is social isolation often starts so quietly. Someone might stop going to church or no longer have family close by. Maybe they stop calling friends because they feel like a burden. Then the days start to blur together and suddenly they're feeling tired, sad, and even hopeless.
So what can someone do if they're feeling like that? Maybe they live alone and their circle's gotten smaller.
That's such an important question. First, know that you're not alone in feeling this way. And second, even small steps can make a big difference. Call someone once a day, even if it's just to say hello. Join a senior center activity, an online book club, or a walking group. If technology feels overwhelming, ask a friend or family member to help set up video calls or group chats. And if you're struggling emotionally, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. There are support groups, therapy options, and community programs that are designed specifically for older adults. You don't have to navigate that loneliness alone.
I love that you said that. My neighbor started going to a local gardening club last year. She's in her 70s and she said it gave her a new reason to get up in the morning, something to look forward to. And she ended up making 3 new friends within the first month.
That's the beauty of it. Connection doesn't have to come from deep, dramatic relationships. Sometimes it's the little chats, the smiles from across the room, the shared laughter over something small. That's what fills us up emotionally. And the more connected you feel, the more motivated you are to take care of yourself. It becomes a positive cycle. You eat better, move more, sleep better, just from feeling seen and cared for.
So just to recap for everyone watching, we've talked about how sitting too much, poor sleep, dehydration, and isolation can quietly hurt our health in big ways. And the beautiful part is, none of these require expensive treatments or complicated routines to start improving. Just awareness, small changes, and kindness to yourself.
Exactly. If you're hearing this and thinking, that sounds like me, please don't feel discouraged. The human body and spirit is so resilient. Even small changes can set off a chain reaction that improves your entire quality of life.
So take that walk around the house, pour that glass of water, call that friend. You are worth it.
You truly are.
We're not done just yet. There's still one more habit we need to talk about, and it might surprise you. All right, welcome back. If you're still with us, thank you. And let me just say, this conversation has been eye-opening. Dr. Mitchell, we've covered some big topics so far. Sitting too much, poor sleep, not drinking enough water, and feeling isolated. And you mentioned there's still one more habit to talk about. One that might surprise us?
That's right, Mike. This last one is a little more subtle, and honestly, it's often the most overlooked. It's the habit of ignoring stress, or brushing it off as just part of life. Especially among older adults, I see so many people who have carried stress for years without fully realizing the toll it's taking on their health.
You're absolutely right. I think a lot of folks in their 60s and up grew up with the mindset of just deal with it, push through, don't complain. But that stress still builds up, doesn't it?
It does. And over time, It adds up in ways that are very real and very physical. Chronic stress increases inflammation in the body. It raises your blood pressure, impacts your immune system, interferes with your sleep, and even makes you more prone to conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and memory problems. What's even more concerning is that some people don't feel stressed in the way they expect. They might not be anxious or upset, but they may feel tense all the time, or notice that they're more tired, more irritable, or just not bouncing back from things like they used to. That can all be stress manifesting in quieter ways.
That's really important to hear. So it's not just the big, dramatic stress that hurts us, it's the quiet, everyday kind too.
Exactly. Think of it like a leaky faucet. One drop here, one drop there, it doesn't seem like much. But over weeks, months, years, that stress builds into a flood inside your body. And if we don't find healthy ways to release it, it takes a toll.
So what does someone do about that? Especially if they've been carrying stress for years, maybe from caregiving, financial worry, or just life not turning out the way they expected.
The first step is giving yourself permission to acknowledge it. Just say to yourself, yes, I've been under stress, I've carried a lot, and it's okay to want to feel better. That self-kindness is powerful. Then from there, it's about finding ways, small ways, to help your body and mind unwind. For some, that might be going for a walk outside and breathing deeply. For others, it might be talking to a counselor or a trusted friend. Meditation or prayer can be helpful. Listening to music, journaling, gardening. These are all forms of self-care that calm the nervous system and reduce that chronic stress load.
And I'm guessing it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like, you don't have to become a Zen master or take yoga classes every day to make a difference.
Not at all. What matters is consistency and intention. Even 5 minutes a day of quiet breathing or gentle movement sends a message to your body, you're safe. You can relax now. That message helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, and supports healing in the body. And just like we talked about with hydration and sleep, small steps, taken regularly, become powerful over time.
I think a lot of people watching right now needed to hear that, especially those who've spent so many years caring for others, raising kids, supporting a spouse, helping friends. It's okay to take care of yourself now.
It's more than okay, it's necessary. Because when you take care of yourself, you give yourself more energy, more presence, and more joy to share with others. And honestly, you deserve to feel peace in your own body and mind.
You really do. So let's bring this full circle. We've talked about sitting too much, sleeping poorly, not drinking enough water, feeling isolated, and living with chronic stress. And for anyone watching who sees themselves in any of those habits, what's your message to them right now?
My message is this: you are not stuck. No matter how long you've had a certain habit, your brain and body are still capable of change. And it doesn't need to be dramatic or overwhelming. If you stand up more today than you did yesterday, if you drink 1 extra glass of water, if you reach out to just one person, you're already on your way. You have more control than you think, and you're more resilient than you realize.
That's so encouraging. And honestly, it's why we do this show, because we want you to feel empowered. We want you to know that your health doesn't have to decline just because of age. There are things you can do today, right now, to feel stronger, clearer, and more connected.
Exactly. Aging is not about fading away. It's about learning how to live fully in this season of life. It's never too late to take back your health, your joy, your peace.
And we want to hear from you. What habits do you want to change? What questions do you have about your health or daily routine? Drop a comment below. Dr. Mitchell and I would love to hear what's on your mind. And if you want us to cover something in a future video, just let us know.
Yes, please do. Your voice matters and your journey is important.
If this video spoke to you today, give a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so we can keep showing up for you with real, honest conversations about living well, no matter your age. You've still got a whole lot of life ahead, and it's never too late to start living it better. Thanks for spending this time with us. Take good care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
And remember, you are never too old to thrive. See you soon.